Hi, welcome to Take 5, where we daily consider devotional thoughts from Oswald Chambers' book, My Utmost for His Highest. Today is October 17th, and the title of today's devotional is The Key of the Greater Work. I say to you, he who believes in me, greater works than these he will do, because I go to my Father. John 14, verse 12. The focus verse is abbreviated. The full benefit of what is being said by Dr. Chambers is gained by reading the entire verse. It says, "Truly, truly, I say to you, he who believes in me, the works that I do, he will do also. And greater works than these he will do, because I go to the Father." Two things must be seen here. First is, the works that I do, he will do also. What are those works? Several scriptures aid us in seeing this, one of them being from Mark. Jesus said to them, "Let us go somewhere else to the towns nearby, in order that I may preach there also, for that is what I came out for." Jesus came to preach. To preach what? Repentance. Mark chapter 1, verse 15. In the focus verse, Jesus is saying that what I came to do, so shall you. You will preach repentance. Next, the focus verse says that greater works than these he will do. And again, it's asked, how so? In John 17, the chapter we know as the Messianic Prayer, Christ says in verse 20, "I do not ask him on behalf of these alone," meaning the 12, "but for those who believe in me through their words." This is the greater work Jesus declares that would be done. 2,000 years of taking the gospel across the entire globe with the message of salvation through Jesus. It's a greater work by the sense of magnitude in time and distance. Christ prophesies that this is what would occur, the greater work. Following the focus verse, the next two say, "Whatever you ask in my name, that I will do." And in verse 14, "If you ask anything in my name, I will do it." This is prayer. The section closes out with, "If you love me, you will keep my commandments," verse 15. These verses need understanding to have a foundation for Chambers' devotional for today, which addresses the power that strengthens the believer, namely prayer. Chambers begins, "Prayer does not equip us for greater works. Prayer is the greater work. Yet we think of prayer as some common sense exercise of our higher powers that simply prepares us for God's work. Prayer is the gift given to us by God to remain in constant vigil with Him." Chambers continues, "In the teachings of Jesus Christ, prayer is the working of the miracle of redemption in me, which is what is seen in John 17, verse 20. Christ prayed us unto himself, and our praying for others is what brings redemption to them." As O.C. continues, it produces the miracle of redemption in others through the power of God. Prayer is the voiced power of God. That is why it is so important to pray scriptures and to pray aloud, so that the devil knows to whom you are speaking. Dr. C reminds us the way fruit remains firm is through prayer, but remember that it is prayer based on the agony of Christ in redemption, not on my own agony. Fruit is the term used for the producing of new believers, as Christ described in John 15, verse 5. The way that the believer stays spiritually firm and strong is through prayer, because that is our direct communication with God. O.C. says we must go to God as his child, because only a child gets his prayers answered. A wise man does not. Never go to God in the presumptive authority of self, but cloaked in the innocence of a child. Chambers reminds us that prayer is the battle, and it makes no difference where you are. It is never easy to remain in the constant attitude of prayer due to the continued assault of the enemy. Our attention gets disrupted away from God so many times in so many ways. But O.C. says, however God may engineer your circumstances, your duty is to pray. As the author continues, wherever God has placed you, and whatever your circumstances, you should pray, continually offering up prayers to Him. He then closes with, when you labor at prayer from God's perspective, there are always results. It will astonish us once the veil is finally lifted, all the souls that have been reaped by you simply because you have been in the habit of taking your orders from Jesus Christ. As Christ said, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. The child of God is obedient. Thanks for being here today. Now may God's grace and peace be ours as we seek to live our utmost for His highest. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.